Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I am with the host this afternoon, Michael, followed by special guest host, Anthony.
Hi.
And
me
he's
again.
going to be here for 2 weeks
Sure am.
because it's Christmas season, which means, for us, I mean, for you guys, it'll be post-January, I think. But that means everybody's busy, and Anthony lives here, so
I do.
I can just be like, hey, man, I need 2 episodes recorded. Can you help me? And
I think you put it as you'd be doing me a solid.
I did, and as a good friend, here he is.
Hi.
But it is literally 2 days post Christmas, as of recording this. So this episode will probably just be Christmas or other random shit. I've been watching an absurd amount of Christmas movies this year.
Have you?
Yeah, I think I'm on like 23 or 24 movies.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, we already know the whole movie thing. I've been doing this here to begin with, but I don't know. December hit, and I was like, "'Tis the season," and then I've just been watching a bunch of them, of all varyingly of like either I haven't watched them or it's like the repeats.
Mm.
Like literally just before we started recording, I just watched Miracle on 31st Street, the original one, for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that movie in like bits, but never like all the way through. Kind of like It's a Wonderful Life. Like when I was a kid, my mom would have that playing all the time, but like I can never remember her like sitting us down and watching it. So like I only remember seeing that movie in parts until I had like actually seen it all the way through like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I still never seen that movie.
It is.
Which is, every time I say that, it feels like I'm about to be burned at the stake.
It feels like a movie you would absolutely have like.
It never.
Your family wasn't big on.
I mean, my mom and dad love that movie, and I mean, they've watched it for sure around the house, but I don't know. I never really.
Well, the first time I saw
Christmas is like not my favorite holiday.
What?
I'm just gonna put this away. Christmas is like not my favorite holiday in the world. So like,
what's your favorite holiday?
Halloween.
All right, fine
though. For those listening on our streaming services, Mike just stared at me menacingly, which is why there was 38 years of dead air in between that comment.
I mean, no, like Halloween's great. I don't know. I feel like
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Christmas is all fine and dandy. I mean, I like the communal aspect of it, and like the food's always great. But it's just like, whatever. I guess because like the magic of it's been lost on me ever since I like in my advanced age of 28 years old. I feel like I don't know. I mean, maybe this is like a cynical way of looking at it, but like I'm an adult. I have adult money now. If I need something, I'll just go get it. And I realize that I know, and I realize that that's like stupid, and like, the point is giving gifts. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, I agree. I've always consistently said I feel like I think what I like most about Christmas now is that it's kind of full circled for me because I go to my family parties and family members are having kids and had kids, and some of them now are old enough to like coherently think.
Yeah.
And so like I get to watch them have the magic of Christmas.
Yeah, that's always nice.
And so like I feel like it's kind of full circled now, where it's like there was that period of time where there wasn't that. And now it's like, oh, I get to like be around these people for the holiday, and then I get to like experience these kids having the same wonder that I had.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. That is wonderful.
Yeah. So like that's where I'm like, I guess now where I'm getting my joy, because for me it's kind of in the same vein. It's kind of just dead. Like, once that wonder's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
So it's now just like a vicariously through others thing.
Yeah. As long as you're not like a fucking Scrooge about it. I mean, like, sure. I mean, Christmas is still like wonderful.
Yeah, it's I found a lot of joy in like being around the like my other family members, like kids and stuff, and being like, oh, like, what do you think about Santa? Like, are you waiting for Santa to show up?
And Santa to come?
Yeah, and you're like, you get to like talk to them and keep it alive, and they're on the same thing, and you're like, that's fun.
I remember every year my uncle used to. I mean, back when we were kids, and then to an extent when, I mean, even like now, but like my uncle used to go. We would send all the kids up to like my sister's room or my room, and they would all get in the bed and like hide under the covers and stuff like that, like pretend we're sleeping. And my uncle would come from downstairs and just be like, oh, and then like just starts screaming. And as a kid, like that used to be like the best fucking thing in the world, right? Because like Santa was here. Oh my god. And then and then like the 1 year that in recent years when like I was down there doing it, like watching it happen, it's always so funny because everybody's like trying not to laugh their asses off because he like goes into it. He's like, oh, and then he's like saying all this like crazy shit like, oh, I hope Rudolph shit on the roof, and like, I hope he didn't shit on the roof. And he's like, he's just trying to at that point he's just trying to make us laugh. It's the funniest thing in the world. But I mean, but like it's always so nice. Like after he leaves, he's like, oh, I'm leaving now, and then like everybody comes downstairs and they're like, holy shit, Santa came, and they're like. Yeah, it is nice to see. It is nice to see, even though the magic is a little lost.
I do think it's really interesting hearing other people's traditions though, because like for my family, it was always just like you put out the cookies and milk and go the fuck to sleep.
Yeah.
And then it was just in the morning, all the stuff would be gone and there'd be presents.
Yeah.
So like it was never like a big orchestrated thing for us. It was just go to sleep. It was like all right.
Yeah, I think for us it was usually like they would open like they would only be like one or two presents, give or take. So like everybody would get like one or two presents, and then the big thing was like in the morning, Christmas morning, like we'd all wake up and you know.
Oh, so like Santa came back.
No, it's like you dropped everything off, but like we only opened up like one or two presents. I don't know.
Oh,
it was
okay.
weird. Now looking back on it, it was just like weird. But like I think it was just we also did it at like midnight. So like we would wait until like midnight, and then like. Everybody be like, oh, well, the rest are at your houses.
Well, because it's like the people that do like Elf on a Shelf, where it's like it feels like you're doing too much. Also, it's kind of weird.
Elf on a Shelf? Wait, what's Elf on a Shelf?
The thing where people have like an elf that they move around their house. Have you not heard about this?
No.
Okay, so
I know about the meme that was a thing a while ago.
So Elf on a Shelf has been a thing for like ever.
I'm sure.
I think a lot of people just came aware to it like early TikTok, late Twitter era, where Elf on a Shelf is like you have this little fucking stuffed elf apparently, basically.
Yeah.
And you put it on a shelf, and the point is that elf is watching you, and
Hello?
is reporting back to Santa.
Oh.
And so you go to sleep, and then when you wake up, the elf is now somewhere else. So like the elf is moving around the house to make
That's
sure.
kind of fun.
And so like the kids are like, you know, they think the elf.
We gotta be good.
Yeah, the elf is watching them and stuff.
Yeah.
It just feels like too much. I
know that's kind of fun. I mean, I think I'd be into that if I had kids.
It also feels kind of weird.
Why's that?
You just like actively this thing is watching you.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Instead of omniscient
now,
Santa.
Sure.
Like,
looking at it now, sure. I mean, I guess like, but like as a kid, I'd be like, oh, you gotta be good, or else this elf is gonna report back to Santa. He's gonna give him my expense report.
This elf is gonna fucking narc on me.
This elf is gonna narc
on me. Because it became like a bigger thing in like on TikTok and stuff because it was like parents posting videos of being like, I keep forgetting to move this goddamn elf, and now I have to like sneakily do it like before they like see it or anything.
Really, like notice.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, yeah, we never really had a big thing. The only thing I remember is, and I still don't know how they did it because both my parents were there. So I guess, I don't know, maybe there was a third party or something, I don't fucking know, that like we were about to go to sleep or going to sleep or something, me and my sister, who, since we're so far apart, she probably didn't even believe in Santa at this point anymore. But I remember like I was like talking to my parents and they were like, all right, go to bed. And then we heard footsteps on the roof and like sleigh bells.
Was it your dad?
No, because he was standing in front of me. My dad and my mom. So I still don't know how they did it because I've asked them. They're like, and I'm like, and I'm like, so I
don't know.
So like, there must have been someone else. But who the fuck would they put on our roof? Like, I don't know.
Maybe like one of your uncles or something like that. Or
yeah, but nobody really lives all that close
neighbor?
to us. Yeah, I don't know. I've always like, what the fuck is that about? And they're always like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm still being gaslit at fucking
27. It's so funny.
But I think that literally that like one thing spurred my belief of Santa for like another like fucking 5 years. Like,
I mean, how could it not, right?
I mean, I believed in Santa for like, some people would probably say too long. Like I was like
I think I was
into
also-
well into middle school, like late middle school.
Really?
Yeah.
I think for me it was like 6th grade. They told me. I think once I got a phone, they were like, "Oh, he could just look it up."
Yeah,
For-
it must have been like I guess 6th or 7th grade. But I remember like at some point it became like a spite
Well,
thing.
in 6th grade, you're what? 12,
Around there, I
right?
guess.
Around there. Yeah, I think that's fine, right?
Yeah, I think I was in like 6th or 7th grade.
12, 13. Maybe 13's a little too old. Maybe 12's a little too old.
I know at one point it became like a spite thing. Where I was
Spite thing?
where I was like, it's more fun to believe in this. I'm gonna believe in it as long as I can.
So you already knew.
I don't know. Like
Because that doesn't make any sense.
No,
if you
like
knew.
I think it was like I knew, but like I had never looked anything up or was never given any concrete evidence otherwise.
Oh, I see.
And so it was like my brain was like, logically, this can't be true.
How did they break it to you? How did your parents break it to you?
I think at some point they gave up trying, because I remember we were going to bed, and I was like half asleep, and I remember hearing a bunch of fucking noise.
Yeah.
And I woke up and looked out, and my sister was like already looking down the railing down in the stairs, and she was like, "Hey, don't walk over here." And I was like, "I'm gonna walk over there." And I walked over, and my dad was like bringing in all the gifts in a bag.
And you were like,
Yeah, and so like he just made so much noise. I was like, I have
yeah,
to.
it's like you can't not.
I have to
check it
imagine
out.
they were just like, look,
He's seen it.
yeah, like
There's no point.
he's old enough. He probably knows. There's no point of putting it together.
Yeah.
Even though they were still doing it at like midnight.
Oh, see, that's way better because my parents were just like, yeah, he's not fucking real, dude. Like, stop it. Like, well, maybe not as like matter of fact, but like,
Stop it.
no, maybe not as matter of fact. But I remember one night. Oh, I mean, it had to be around 6th or 7th grade, where my mom and my dad were. I was like, oh, I'm really excited to see Santa next year. It was all so nice and fun. And they're like, Aunt, like, dude, you're 13. He's not real. And I was like, what? And they're like, she's like, Santa's not real. And it's been me and your father the whole time. We hide the presents in the attic. When you're not looking, we go up and we bring them downstairs. It's like,
Brutal.
Jesus Christ. Like, your balls dropped. Drop your beliefs in Santa. And I was like, what? I was
voice dropped
heartbroken.
then, too.
Yeah, I was like heartbroken. And then my sister comes downstairs and she's 4 years younger than me. She's like, yeah, Santa's not really, you fucking idiot. And I'm like,
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I was like, really?
No, I'm just kidding. No, I think my sister found out around the same time as me, but I think they broke it to her like way better because they learned the first time. They were like, oh, we just gave this kid deep-seated trauma not to trust anybody anymore. I'm like, so now you're going to tell me the Easter Bunny's not real?
Well.
Oh, well, Aunt. So let me get this straight. You're learning about World War II, and you think that a giant man-sized bunny is coming around leaving you chocolate under your pillow, you fucking idiot? And I'm like, well, at least I got the tooth fairy. And they're like, well.
Who do you think was dropping the bombs in World War II?
What? You're telling me she's a war criminal? What the fuck? And you're like, where do you think she gets all the teeth, idiot? And I'm like, they're my teeth. And they're like, are they? What?
The Easter Bunny actually doesn't drop off eggs. It's grenades.
Yeah. It's frag grenade. It's unused frag grenades from the Second World War, from the global conflict.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'd try to like have my kids believe as long as possible. Because like
Yeah, but
I feel like
think
it's
at a
just
certain age, it's just like kind of unhealthy.
yeah, but I don't know. It's like
I don't
feel
want my 17-year-old kid like being like, "Oh, I can't wait for Santa to come."
yeah, but I also
I'm
feel
like,
like
put on deodorant, idiot. Like,
I feel like it's the last like magic you have as a kid, or like as a person. I feel like
guess that's true.
Santa is the last ounce of like childhood magic you hold on to.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I mean, you still get like,
Oh boy, where's
you
this
still
going?
get like if you don't watch How It's Made.
How It's Made is
Yeah, you get the magic of things just appearing in your cabinet, and you're like, oh wow, I wonder how they make this. I'll never
Yeah.
know.
How It's Made is actually the magic killer.
They're like, oh my god, lawnmower. I don't know how this is made. The magic of circuitry and mechanics. I'll never know. And then you watch the How It's Made episode on how they make lawnmowers, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
What a bit this
The
is
magic's
you've
ruined.
created here.
I actually used to feel that way about neon signs. I used to think neon signs were magic.
Okay? Like
I was like-
actual magic.
Yeah, I was like, Mommy, how do they make the signs? And she's like, magic. And she didn't know. She was like, Because nobody was there to be like, oh, they actually take neon gas and compartmentalize it into a fucking plastic tube. And it's like, she's like, oh yeah, magic. Isn't that fun? And I'm like, oh
Isn't that
wow.
fun?
I'm like, oh wow, magic sign. I'm like, can I get one? And she's like, no. I'm like, where can I learn these tricks? Like,
Jesus.
oh yeah, I used to be a dumbass as a kid.
Well, I used to believe sex was just putting your hand on a
You did.
I
We
know,
all got
window,
one. Everybody
so.
gets one.
So everyone gets a one.
Yeah. So what'd you get for Christmas? How was your Christmas?
My Christmas was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Well, like my immediate family doesn't have any kids of age to like believe in Santa. My sister has 9-month-old, but
Well, yeah, he's like, yeah. I mean,
that's not old enough to believe in
He
Santa.
doesn't
That's
even
not
know.
old enough to believe in anything,
yeah.
except
Yeah.
for boob equals food. That's I think the only belief that kid has.
What a simple life we used to have.
But Christmas Eve we go and do my dad's side of the family, which I believe, according to my aunt, had 61 people there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you fit all that how do you fit all those
all those
how do
people?
you fit all those people?
There you go, buddy.
There we go. Wow.
And, you just everyone has you just spread out into all the rooms, and then it's a lot of just excuse me.
Yeah. Sorry.
All the kids kind of hang out in one area. Except it's funny because I was saying this year that my Aunt Joanne, it used to be a rotation between 3 houses.
Yeah.
Now it's 2 because my Aunt Jean moved somewhere else and infinitely less convenient, so
Right.
we don't go there. So it's between my Aunt Joanne and my Aunt Jen. And Aunt Jen's is arguably the best house for it because it's like a pretty open floor plan kind of house, so it works out fairly well.
Haven't I been to your Aunt Jen's?
Yes, music
Yeah,
room.
it's the music room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that house works out pretty well.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
But my Aunt Joanne's house, like it gets the job done. It's fine. But there's like a little basement area that basically when we were young, the parents would be like, "Have fun, slam door," And it was like a fed for yourself, all for yourself kind of thing. It was all the kids. It was like all it was
You
down
have to make
there.
your own food. You don't get
Yeah.
any of here.
all that was down there was a couch, like a shitty, CRTV, and like a PlayStation 1 and like a Dreamcast, I think. And it was just like do whatever.
Yeah.
And then this year it was like, we go and we're there, and it was like, all right, well, I guess we can all go down to the basement. This time the basement is now with all the like actual children.
Yeah.
Her oldest is maybe 2, maybe 3, and you're like, And they have like all these toys, and it's so bright down there, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like the 180 from
Yeah, it
what
was-
we used to be.
And the parents of those kids are all down there watching them, and you're like, fucking, I remember.
What the hell
Yeah, I was like,
happened?
we just got shoved down here and left for our own devices. Started a Lord of Flies society.
come back up in like tattered rags, just like dirt all over you.
And coming up with like some kind of injury that probably needed to go to the hospital from the older cousin suplexing you, and you were just like, it's fine. My other cousin like suplexed me once, and he was like suplexing everybody into the couch. And he did it to me, but he missed, and I hit the wood of
I
the
broke my neck.
like the wood frame,
Yeah.
and like probably gave me a concussion.
Oh.
Who knows? It was terrible though. I remember it was immensely painful.
Oh, I can imagine.
But yeah, it was like a complete difference, and then it's like, all right, well now our hangout spot is gone. So now it's like, oh god, we actually have to mingle. Terrible.
I actually have to talk to people. This sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was that was fun. So I get 2 of my cousin's gifts because for my dad's side of the family, it was always like Christmas Eve was you didn't really get gifts, but you got gifts from your godparents, and a lot of us have at least one godparent on my dad's side, one of his sisters. But my 2 cousins that I hang out with the most, one of them, their godparents weren't part of the family at all. They were like other side. And then the other, his godparent that is on my dad's side, just doesn't really have the means to supply a gift. So when I got older, I started getting them gifts. And it was usually always just fucking gift cards because, like, they're like me. What do I get you people?
Yeah.
So here, take money. Money
Yeah,
is the
exactly.
you could buy whatever you want.
Exactly.
But this year, Anthony was there. I attempted to go take a swing with mine this year and go something a tad different. Got one of them a Zorro figure from One Piece, and the other a comic, The Long Halloween, because they really like the Batman movie. But they don't read comics at all. So I was like, we're gonna see how this goes. Fuck it. I don't want to just get you people gift cards.
Oh, how did they like it?
They both quite liked it.
Oh, there you go.
So
Knocked it out of the park on that one.
So that one worked out. They both gave me gift cards, and I was like, well, you guys don't need to get me anything. It's fine though. I don't actually care because they're not even supposed to get me anything. I get a gift still. My aunt, that's my godmother, shows up and gives me stuff. But it was always one of those things that she would get me like clothes. And she'd hand me the clothes and go, I know you're not going to like this. So the tag is, like, the gift receipt's in there. And I'm like, well, if you know that, then why
bother?
Yeah, just like, I don't know. Like, I know it's shitty to give someone a gift card, but at some point, if you keep telling me this, you should just give me a gift card, cut the losses. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, like, the last 3 years, she's finally just been giving me gift cards. And I'm like, nice.
A+ work.
A+ work. I love it here. This is the best aunt.
So what did you end up getting for Christmas?
So for Christmas, I got a surround sound system, which was like more than half off, because I was never gonna pay for it myself. And then I saw it was on sale, and I was like, I might buy that for myself.
So then you paid it for yourself.
Yeah. My parents threw in a bit,
Okay.
so that was like kind of their gift. That and a fire pit, a new fire pit.
Yo, let's go.
So
Hell yeah.
yeah. And then just some like odd and like little baubles and stuff. My sister got me a new hard drive because mine's about to be full up from all the work and podcast editing.
Nice.
Almost 8 terabytes are finally almost full.
Oh my god.
So got a new one. And my mom got me a picture of me and my nephew.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cute.
So what about you?
What did I get? Well, I got this nice denim jacket. I've been wanting a nice, like, real denim jacket for a while, and my mom and dad got me that. Got some sweaters, 2 button-down shirts, and then my sister went fucking crazy with the gifts this year. She got me the vinyl soundtrack of My Neighbor Totoro.
Sure did. Remember when I said that Kieran was like, "Oh God, Deckard got a vinyl. I really hope it's not mine." We all exchanged gift ID. That's why we told you to leave.
Oh, my sister told you?
That's why that's why we told you to leave. Because we were talking about your gifts, and you walked in the room and you were like,
funny.
"You guys talking about me?" And we're like, "Yeah, leave." And she was like, because Kira was like, "I got him a vinyl."
So wait, then do you already know what she got me?
She started talking about that, and then you walked in, so then you got cut off. So I only knew about the vinyl.
Okay.
Because Kieran went, I got a vinyl, and she went, shut up, I got him a vinyl. What would you get him? And so everyone was discussing the vinyls they got you.
I know, that was the thing. Yeah, you all got me vinyls this year. You kind of fucking rocked, actually.
So that's the only thing I did know.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. She got me the My Neighbor Totoro soundtrack, which I can't wait to listen to.
Your face when I was like, yeah, sure, she sure did.
Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah, I got that, and then she got me a fucking signed by almost everybody in the main cast script of the Twin Peaks pilot. It's like all autographed.
Wild.
I know. I was like, oh my! I was like speechless. I couldn't fucking believe it. So that was amazing. And then just like some stocking stuffers. Like I got a couple gift cards. I got like my parents got me like a whole like rack of lottery tickets.
Rack of
I love fucking rack of lottery tickets, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Hi everybody. I live my life off scratch off. I make my entire income off scratch off lottery.
Hey, I
tickets.
love free scratch offs. It means I didn't waste my own money on them.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'm gonna go hog wild on those. And then Brian got me. He got me like a coffee table book, and it's all the storyboards from the Star Wars original trilogy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, with like all descriptions on like the scenes and stuff like that. So
That's
I'm
cool.
really excited to look at that.
How do you like your gifts?
Oh, he loved them.
Okay, cool.
He loved them. Yeah. No, I so Brian is my sister's boyfriend, and I love him dearly. He's a wonderful guy, but I just I know he likes a certain few things, it's just I wanted to hit like, because this is like his first Christmas with us, and I wanted it to be like meaningful kind of thing.
Right.
So I talked to my sister, and I was just like, hey, like, what is like he like? I want to get him something like meaningful, and he's moving to Maryland, in a few days actually. So he's like trying to downsize. So I didn't want to get it because he's like into Legos. So I wanted to get him like a nice like. There was like this really cool like Lego Isengard. He's like a big Lord of the Rings fan, so I was just like, oh, he likes Legos and Lord of the Rings, so I might as well just get him that. But then she was like, nah, he's got to downsize, whatever. So I ended up getting him like a Lord of the Rings windbreaker and then like a Jurassic Park shirt because he loves Jurassic Park too. And he ended up really liking them. Yeah,
Nice.
and then he ended up getting me the Star Wars book, and I was just like, oh yeah, this is good. This is real good.
Love a good coffee book.
I love a good coffee table book. It's really just wonderful decoration. It also is just like it's like fucking in the Seinfeld episode where he's talking about a coffee table book about coffee tables.
Oh yeah.
He's just like, you're looking at your coffee table and you're like, oh wow, that's an interesting book, and then you pick it up and it's a coffee table book about coffee tables, and now you got a conversation going, and it's like, yeah, he's right. I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah, no, it'll be nice to pick through that later because I'm interested to see what they had to say about it. But yeah, overall, really solid Christmas this year. I needed to get more like long sleeve shirts because I only have 2 long sleeve button down shirts.
I was gonna say it's funny that your gifts were mostly clothes because I was like, that sounds like a nightmare of a Christmas to me.
Oh, yeah, as an adult, I love getting clothes for Christmas now. I love getting clothes for Christmas.
Haven't hit that point. I still wear the same couple clothes, so
No, I do. I love the sweaters I got. I got a nice Chris Evans Knives Out sweater. I'm really excited to wear that later. Yeah, I don't know. I hit a point, I think around like late high school, where I was just like, fucking clothes, let's go. You know what I mean? Because you can still ask for like a video game or two, but it's just like, it doesn't hit as different when you can just like.
I was gonna
Go
say
out and
I
get a
don't
video
even think if I did ask for a video game, my parents would buy it for me. I'm pretty sure they would just be like,
See, I tried that theory. Because like this was 2 years ago. I tried this theory where I was like, you know what? There's a game that just came out that I really want. I'm going to ask for it for Christmas because one, my parents are clueless, right? They're just like, do me a favor. When you send me the list, put all the links. So I'll just put everything there. Don't make me go searching. And I'm like, okay, fair. So I'm like, there was a game I really wanted. It was Pokemon Scarlet. And I was like, I'm going to ask for this for Christmas, and I'm just going to see what happens. If they get it, great. If they don't, whatever. It's fine. I could just buy it digitally or go to GameStop, whatever.
Right.
So I'm 26 at this point, and I'm just like, yeah, so let's see what happens. Christmas Day comes, I open all my gifts. I'm like, nah, whatever. And then I go into my stocking, and it's right there, and I'm like, holy shit, I can still do this. That's crazy that nobody judged me. Because here's the thing, right? Because it's like, it's a video game, so like, you're like, I think like, I don't know, at least my parents would still like judge me, and they'd be like, come on. Like, really?
they still do. Mine still do.
Yeah, so you get it. So they'd be like, come on, really? Like, you're asking for video games when you're 28 years old. And I'm like, whatever. And I'm like, whatever. Like, everybody are in our group, and like everybody our age still plays video games. So it's like, whatever. But then, as an added layer of embarrassment on top of that, it was a Pokemon game. So
Right.
They're like, come on, you're still fucking playing with Pokemon? Like, come on. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I love my parents, but like, I don't think they realize that like Pokemon still has like a very wide cultural berth on like people our age.
Yeah.
So like, it was.
I'll
fun.
still play every game that comes out, even though they don't change.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. That's why I asked for Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah. Although I do wish they would stop changing the like Ultra Form Edition stuff every fucking game.
What do you mean?
You know, like the Mega Evolve or the Z
like
move.
the
Like
Dynamax
just make it one thing. I like if you were gonna
Well,
do
yeah,
the
that's the
Mega
thing,
Evolve,
like-
just keep it Mega Evolve and add all these new versions. Like I don't
Yeah.
need you to keep changing
Well, that's the
the
thing,
thing.
is that they'll have like one gimmick for one game and then like never do it again.
That's what I'm saying. Like I
Because
don't
like Sword and Shield had Dynamaxing and then they took that out for Scarlet and
crystallization.
Violet. Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Crystallization now?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Which is just like I don't need it. Just the Mega Evolves was fine because at least then you're adding something. You're making it a different form.
Yeah.
It feels unnecessary.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know.
Overall, solid Christmas this year. Sounds like you had a solid Christmas too.
Yeah, I mean, it was the only thing about it was just like kind of odd. Like my family, for my immediate family, like for actual Christmas, we were all meeting at my sister's this year now instead of going to my parents because she didn't want to like jump back and forth between her and her husband's. So
Yeah,
she
she's
wanted
also
to,
got the newborn too.
yeah, so
it's
she wanted to like cut out the middleman
Yeah,
and just host everybody.
which makes sense.
Yeah. But it was weird because like, well, we were supposed to get there at 2 everyone else was showing up at 3.
Hmm.
I went to go see a movie in the morning.
Like you and your parents?
Yeah.
Like
me and my parents were
oh,
supposed to show up at 2.
Gotcha.
Everyone else got there at 3. So that way we could do our own gift exchange.
Right.
And I went to go see a movie in the morning because I was like, well, I don't have anything to do till 2 anyway.
Yeah.
Like I had to cook stuff, but I was like, I have time. So I went to go see A Complete Unknown, which was fantastic. But it was a half hour longer than I thought it was, which was not ideal. So instead of getting out at like 12:30, like I thought, I like where I was gonna get home at 12:30. I got home at 1,
Oof.
and I was like, I have an hour to make a double batch of cookies, the buffalo chicken dip, and get all the rolls ready. And I was like,
God.
oh fuck me. So it was like me just rushing around back and forth, and I didn't end up finishing everything until about like 2:20. So I got there at like 2:30. But because I was late, it was like I got there and it was like, all right, let's do gifts before everyone shows up. So it was just kind of like a bing bang boom done.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't feel like there was any like anything
There was
to
no like
it.
pomp and circumstance.
Yeah, it was
to
just that's it. We're done. Gifts are done. Let's go put them all in the car.
Hmm.
I was like, all right. So like it wasn't like it was fun, but it was just like it was one of those things where it just felt like we were doing it because we had to.
So yeah, like the kind of like magic is lost.
Yeah, and I was like, this
Well,
is
was it like that last year too, or?
I would guess I would say no, just because like.
Well, did you feel like it was rushed, or did you just feel like oh, you know, it's just we're going through the motions at this point?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Okay, yeah, I see.
So it just kind of again, it just kind of feels like the magic's gone. When you're just like, it was just all like, all right, let's get it over with.
I guess like the one point of satisfaction is like when you.
Oh, so you always know what
somebody-
you're getting now.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
So like even when it's in the box,
Well, I
you're
always
just-
like to throw in like a little surprise. I mean, like, cause like my sister and I don't exchange gifts, or I mean lists. So like so what me and my sister get each other is a complete surprise. However,
me and my sister don't know each other well enough to do that.
my parents, I give my parents a list, so I know what I'm getting from my parents. But the one like I guess not, I don't want to say like consolation, but like the one like I guess unknown factor is that whatever me and my sister get each other is completely a surprise.
I mean, whatever I get my parents is a surprise to them, but everything else is
My
exchanged.
parents too, actually. Now that I think about it, yeah, because
But,
my
but
parents.
like my parents are also my parents. They're just like, oh, thanks.
Well, my parents are. Let's see. My parents are always like, "Oh no, your presents at Christmas is all the gifts that we need," and I'm like, "Shut up!"
Yeah.
Like,
No, like
give me a list.
my parents are impossible to buy for. So like
I
it's
know
just
my
a
mom
guess
is
every
impossible
year.
to buy for. My dad is pretty simple. My dad likes 3 things. My mom is just always just like, "Oh well, you know, what if you just gave me a hug on Christmas morning?" But the thing is, my mom is such a hypocrite. Again, need to preface this: love my mother. However, she is such a fucking hypocrite because she's like, "Oh, well, you know, like you could just give me a hug and a kiss on the cheek and everything will be okay. The fact that you're here for Christmas is just absolutely wonderful." And I'm like, okay.
I like
then
how
when
she
I'm
turned
like,
into Trump there for a second.
no, it's just, but then when I'm like, nah, I don't really like need anything. She's like, if you don't put something on this fucking list for Christmas, I am literally gonna throw you off the GW. And I'm like, excuse me. So when you don't want anything, it's just, oh, just give me a hug and a kiss. But when I don't want anything, you threaten murder. And I'm like, she's like, you gotta open up something on Christmas. And I'm like, what makes you think you shouldn't open up something on Christmas? You're my mother. Like,
What murder?
what murder? Come on. So my mother is like, she is like impossible to shop for only because she doesn't tell me what she wants.
Right.
So my sister, she's the goat. She has to friggin' coax it out of her. And then she's like, all right, listen, I'm going to get mom 2 things. You get mom 2 things. Easy. We're done. But she didn't do that to my sister this year because I think she's catching on. So I'm calling my sister up and I'm like, dude, like I'm stumped. I have no idea what to get mom. And she's like, dude, me neither. I got no idea.
Yeah.
My dad's easy to shop for. My dad, like I said, my dad likes 3 things. He likes the Pittsburgh Steelers, he likes the New York Yankees, and he likes fucking nice clothes. So if I get him
I couldn't.
whatever.
I couldn't even begin to guess what my dad would. I would buy my dad if it was clothes wise. If I was doing
Your
any,
dad's more of like a rugged like kind of guy.
He
So
wears
like
whatever,
you
though.
like Levi's.
but
or
like
something.
if I had to get him anything sports related, it would have to be tickets.
That's true. I mean, he's a Yankees fan.
Yeah.
That's honestly not a bad idea. I got my dad tickets to a whatchamacallit. I got him tickets to the Steelers game that we went to in October for his birthday.
Yeah, I think
So I feel like that's a good idea.
I think
for
we
a Christmas
did.
present.
I think we did a Yankee game for for his birthday last year. I think my sister bought them.
Yeah, so tickets to a sporting event is never a bad idea, I don't think.
No, but like I don't know. He has fucking everything, and it's like, and if you want to get him, if you want to get him toys or tools, like same difference really. He has every fucking tool under the goddamn sun. So it's like, what I ended up getting him tools anyway because I knew I was like I just kind of guess bagged 3 things.
Yeah.
My mom.
The thing
was
is
like,
too, I guess like at that point you could just look at which tools that he has that are shitty and just replace them, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, really,
You
there's
got like
quite
a
few of
hammer
them.
that doesn't have a back claw.
Some of his are
It's
so
like-
fucking old because he like it's the one thing he like hoards because he loves tools and antique tools, everything. So like there's just tools that are just like full of rust. He's like, yeah, but they're my dad's dad's tools. Like,
Oh, so they're like sentimental.
yeah.
I got it.
But he'll also take them from people that aren't sentimental, but they're also old. Like he took a bunch of tools from like a friend's father that like had passed away, and he's like, I'll take them. No, it's like, why? You already have a billion sets of these.
Yeah, I guess everybody likes to collect something.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I mean, there's some historical significance behind tools because like a hammer from like the 30s is way different than like a hammer now.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, it'll still work.
And it'd still work.
Yeah.
They're built to last.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like, at least for my family, it's always like you know everything you're getting, just because they ask you. I ask my sister because like we're 5 years apart. Like she's fucking 32 with a kid living in a house with her husband.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck do I get you? I don't know. You're living a completely different life than I am. I don't. And we're close, but like we have never had any similar interests by any means. So like we've never. So like it's always just like, hey, man, what do you want? Like,
But that makes sense though. I mean, like I feel like sure it would have been harder as a kid, right, to like get each other gifts. But like as an adult, that's just how like gift exchanges are now, right? I'll just be like, hey, what do you want?
yeah, but I don't know.
You know what I mean?
That,
I know, and I get it.
It goes
I get
back
it.
to the
That's
magic
just
feeling.
The magic of Christmas. I get it. The magic of Christmas is kind of lost there. But like, realistically, I mean, like we're not the only people doing that. You know what I mean? Like everybody's doing that.
No, I know.
You know. So,
But
it just gets to a certain point where you're just like, it's easier just to ask than speculate.
Yeah,
Because if you fuck up, it's embarrassing.
but that's why I'm like looking forward to like probably not next year because he'd only be like almost he'd still be under two years. So I don't know when you kind of like become a conscious human being, but probably like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, Christmas, I'll be able to have my nephew and be able to get him things, and he'll be like, "Well, you are the cool uncle," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're right.
Damn right I am.
I forget who got it.
I feel like babies are pretty easy to shop for now, right? This is what clothes.
Well, for this
like-
year specifically, I didn't know. My sister had like an Amazon thing, and I was like, what do you get a 9-month-old? So
Yeah,
my
I
sister had a little Amazon wish list, and I was like, I know it's kind of boring, but she was like, it's not for him. It's for us and our convenience. And I was like, that's fair. And she was like, he didn't even open half of these. I'm probably just gonna wrap some of them and put them back under for a birthday gift. Like,
Right.
it's not like he'll know.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that's fair.
yeah. I mean, you got that right. Watch, like he's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah,
Are you
that's his
kidding me?
the first word.
Yeah. Has he said his first word yet?
No.
No.
But he has like 7 teeth. He was able to support his own head after being born.
Okay.
And
Smart kid.
He's like kind of getting to crawling.
Okay.
Like he's getting to like a more of like a hands out pull and like feet push. So he's kind of like
he's gonna be
inchworming, not
Yeah.
like crawling, but he's like getting there. And he can support himself. Like if he's against something, he can kind of stand.
Okay.
But my parents got him this like little saucer toy thing, which was like it has like a remote control thing where you can put him in it and drive him around. And so I set it up, like put it together and built it and everything, and then I was just driving it around just because it was really fun to mess with. And then they put him in it, and I was just driving him around in that for like an hour plus.
When you were a kid, see, I love that shit because like I used to eat that up when I was a kid, at least from videos that I've seen of myself. When you were a kid, did you have like one of those like automatic, or not automatic, I guess, but like one of those like trucks that you could like sit in and drive?
Yeah, like the battery ones.
Yeah. Did you have that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, me too.
It was based off of some kind of, I would guess, like derby car or something, because it had like an orange roll cage thing.
Yeah, I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
I don't think mine was specifically based on anything.
At least it looked like a Jeep from what I saw. It was a white Jeep.
Yeah, mine was like a dark gray, and then the roll cage was like orange, and it had like one of those front like, like what people with big trucks that look like assholes have in the front of their thing, like the ram cages.
Oh God.
Had like that, and I think that was like purple.
Jeez,
And it had like it had like forward, reverse,
Mm-hmm.
and neutral, and I remember just driving around.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, that thing was awesome.
Yeah, I used to love those things as a kid. I remember my cousin had a Jurassic Park one.
Oh, that's cool.
It was like the Jurassic Park
Yeah.
truck. Yeah.
Have you seen people that like soup those up?
No.
Because it's just
Well,
battery.
people put like
yeah.
V8s in them.
It's just like it's just like a battery motor, right? So like
Yeah.
people take them out and like put like leaf blower motors in them instead or something, and they just fucking zoom, like they just go because
Oh,
they
that's
weigh
so
nothing
funny.
except for the person in it.
Yeah.
And you could just make them hit like 40.
Oh my God. Just go down a residential street with one.
Yeah,
Hold on, guys. I'm going to shop and stop.
Yeah, there was a video
Stop
of this guy. My dad was showing it to me that like this guy that souped it up for like his daughter, and she like hit it, and she like fucking flew, and she was like it went so fast she got scared and like cried. It was like ran away crying, and he was like, oh, all right, well.
Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't do this.
But I was like, dude, fuck.
If I can hit a pedestrian and they die, maybe I shouldn't do it.
But also, I'd be there like, fuck yeah, dude, that'd be rad as hell.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. I wish they made adult versions of those.
It's like
Wait
like
a minute.
Cars.
Yeah, but it doesn't hit
It's
the
not-
same.
yeah,
It
it's not
doesn't
the
hit the
same.
same.
No.
You know, because I thought about it and I was just like, that was a stupid thing to say out loud on the podcast in public for everybody to see. And then I was like, wait a minute. Well, you could technically drive your car on the lawn, but like you'd fuck up your lawn, right?
Yeah.
So I wish they made big ones.
I guess essentially you could say like an ATV.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a stupid. Oh my God. Do you want to hear something funny about cars? I had specifically the movie. I had a
okay.
stupid fucking thought when I was like 15.
How do they bang?
No.
Oh, okay.
I had a stupid fucking thought when I was like 15. I was in the car. I remember this vividly. I was in the car with my mom, and you know when you like look at the backs of cars, the like the taillights and then like the bumper like makes like a face.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was like, wouldn't it be crazy if like the taillights and like the headlights were the eyes, and then like the mouth was like the bumper, and like they just started like talking to each other, and she's like, "You mean like cars?" And I'm like, "Yeah, cars, like the vehicle." She's like, "No, the movie," and I'm like, "Oh." She's like, "What?" She's like, "What did I raise?" She's like,
I had an original thought. Oh no, I didn't.
"Oh, wait a minute."
No thought is original.
Yeah, then they made Planes, and Dane Cook was in it, and he was like, we gotta go see the cars, man. We gotta go see them.
Me and my sister.
We're gonna crash into a building."
I think the funniest, the hardest me and my sister ever laughed was to a Dane Cook bit.
Oh my God!
On like
The first time anybody's ever said that in a public setting.
on like a vacation in like South Carolina, because it was like all that was playing on the TV.
They just had Dane Cook on loop.
It was like
Boy,
some
I wonder
special he did.
what's on Cartoon Network. It's just like Dane Cook's stand up. It's like, what the fuck is going on? It's all Dane Cook.
Honestly,
Sorry, go ahead.
we used to, as a kids, we used to think Dane Cook and Jeffrey Dunham were like hilarious.
Oh, everybody thought Jeff Dunham was was funny as a kid.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
And I remember the bit was whatever special he had, where it was two stories. I mean, it was more than two stories, but I remember the two stories specifically, which was the thing about him talking to the atheist on a bus, where he's like, I'm on the bus, whatever, talking to this guy, and this guy's an atheist, and he's like, oh, well, what do you think heaven is, or like what happens when you die? And he's like, oh, I imagine it's like Dane Cook's like, I imagine it's like an airport or something. You die, you get there, all your family that have passed are there, and they're like, hey, like you're dead, and he's like, yeah, and you get to like,
I figured.
yeah, and you're like, you get to hug all your people and talk to them or whatever.
Right.
And this guy's sitting there laughing at me the whole time. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, what do you fucking think happens when you die? And he's like, oh, well, when I die, I know I'm going to be, put into the ground and return to the earth and, grow a beautiful tree or whatever. And the guy's like, yeah, well, and Dane Cook's like, yeah, well, you just stood there making fun of me, whatever. And I was like, I hope that they fucking, you become this beautiful tree, and then somebody cuts you down, fucking it puts you in a goddamn chipper, chips you out, and prints the fucking Bible on you, or whatever. And for whatever reason, that was fucking hilarious to us as a kid. Obviously, I'm delivering this terribly, but
I was gonna say, where's the punchline?
yeah.
Sorry.
Look, I remember the broad strokes of it. I can't deliver it in the same vein as a comic.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was like the whole thing where it was like somebody's giving you directions somewhere, and it was like obviously pre Google Maps.
Yeah.
And, like you used to have to print out the pages, or
Oh, yeah,
like
the
have
map
someone,
quest.
or someone would tell you
Yeah.
what it was, and you had to write it down.
I remember anytime we were gonna go off for a long drive where we didn't know where we were going.
30
She's like,
pages.
Anthony, can you do me a favor and print out the map quest
Yep.
of this? And I'm like, yeah, Mom. All right.
we had to do that too.
Just waste all the ink.
Yeah.
Like,
But it was like, that like the bit was about that, and it was like, someone writes you all these things, and it's like, you take a left down Elm Street, and you're like, which fucking Elm Street? There's 30 billion Elm Streets, and like, and then of course of you're driving, you hit the railroad tracks, or you're driving and you're reading, and you're like, if you hit the railroad tracks, you've gone too far, and then all of a sudden you hear the you're like, fuck. And it's like, and of course the street you're looking for is the one that has like the fucking tree overgrown on the goddamn sign, so you don't see it. You're not sure which one it is. I remember those two bits specifically, and me and my sister were like laughing so hard we couldn't breathe. I've also learned recently that me and my sister have the same kind of like when we find something absurdly funny, we both stop breathing, as you've witnessed.
oh, I've heard.
To the point where apparently I didn't know this until this Christmas when Chris was telling the story that when it was like a year into them dating, he said some fucking joke and they were on like a fucking ski lift.
Mhm.
And she was laughing so hard she stopped breathing and passed out for I guess a
The
second.
altitude?
Yeah. And so she passed out and then woke back up and was like, oh, what happened? And I was like, dude, that's gonna be such like a booster for your confidence though. That it was
100%.
so funny you made someone pass out.
Oh my god, I'm trying to think of if there was a time where I laughed so hard. There was a time that I did laugh so hard that I actually like almost punctured a lung. That was pretty funny.
Like, actually?
No, not I mean, it hurt a lot, so maybe I collapsed the lung or some shit. I remember, like, this is when I was a kid, and I really can't attest to how funny this is now. But we used to go to this resort every summer called Villa Roma, up in the Catskills, and they would have like a different like form of entertainment every night. And so the one we went to was there was this comedian who was his name was the Sarge, and he was a black and Jewish comedian. So like all of his bit revolved around that.
All right.
But I remember he said something about like, I don't know, about like how unlucky he was of being born black and Jewish or whatever. And like I don't remember just the way he fucking said it. I laughed so hard I knocked the table. I knocked the table over and like collapsed my chest cavity. And my dad was like, "You fucking idiot! Like, are you okay? Like, what the fuck is the problem?"
Sometimes random shit will just hit you so
I don't
hard
know
for
what
no-
it is, man. I like stuff that I would never find. I mean, not that I would never find funny, but it's just sometimes it just sneaks up on you.
It's most
You
of
know?
the time with our bits.
Oh, 100%.
Where it's like, I don't think I could ever find this funny ever again. But
No,
like this
you beat it to the
specific
fucking- you beat it to
moment,
fucking death,
yeah,
like-
this specific moment, it was the funniest thing that ever
100%.
fucking happened. Whatever the bit was when we were on the couch and I like couldn't breathe, and you kept going, and I just was like, I am dying.
That's where most of our bits come from. Is me just sitting on the couch and you on your spot on the couch, and we're just like saying stupid shit. It's just like what was that when I just like
I don't even because I know also a lot of times that comes into a point where like I'll be recreating some noise and you'll be like, that was insane. Can you do that again?
that's
I'm like,
you when you're like, you know.
like there's like a moment where I can recreate some scream or some whatever, and you're like,
Huh.
can you do it again? And I can't.
Yeah.
Like I can only do it like in that one specific moment.
Yeah, the one I can remember off the top of my head when you laughed so hard you almost killed us was when was when we were coming home from I think when we had ramen after Laura Marling, and I was telling you about the friggin' and you were trying to do it. And it sounded like you were sucking a milkshake. Bro, I was just like, let it go, man. Change the straw or some shit. And laugh so hard. You laugh so hard you swerved into the other way.
You gotta stop making me laugh when I'm
I
driving.
know. I just can't help it, man. I can't turn off being funny. Like I'm just,
I almost killed you being Kieran on the fucking drive to whatever goddamn concert that was.
With the saw bit, yeah, 100%.
We just kept like, all right, I can't explain the saw bit because we'll go to jail.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll ruin my political career. But it was just like we had this bit that I don't even remember who started it.
I think because we were talking about Saw 6 or no Saw 10.
Yeah,
whichever the most recent one is.
Yeah, Saw X.
Saw X.
I don't remember who like started it though. Like who posited the
I think because we were just saying how absurd some of the situations
Yeah.
were. Where it was like, you have like 3 minutes to cut off 10 of your fingers, or else
Yeah.
like your daughter will die and her husband will get lit on fire.
and then we just
or some
started getting
shit.
like absurdly silly with it. And
It's so fucking funny.
and we were crossing a bridge into like into Brooklyn or something.
Yeah, we were on the whatchamacallit, the big one.
The big one.
The one that goes into Brooklyn. I forget what it's called. Not the Mario Cuomo. The fucking.
I was like, 'cause it's not the Brooklyn Bridge. We weren't on that.
No. It's the one that they lit up. It's named after a guy.
I don't fucking remember.
I don't remember, but go ahead.
Yeah. But we were driving and we got into this bit, and all three of us just kept circling around, adding to the point where then I stopped adding because I was laughing so hard I couldn't breathe. And keep in mind, again, I am driving on a bridge with 4 lanes of traffic, and they keep going. And I am laughing so hard. At one point, I'm swerving into the other lane, and then I'm like, shit, trying to like autocorrect, going closer to the guardrail. And I'm like, guys, we are going to die if you don't stop. And they're like, all right, well, let's keep going.
Yeah. You gotta double down. I mean, if this is where it ends. This is where it ends.
And literally, it was like, we were like, if a fucking cop pulls us over, like, what are you drunk?
Yeah, how are we gonna explain?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were saying before when part 2 of the bit happened in the hallway.
Yeah.
That's where most of the bits happened, either in your truck, downstairs on the couch, or in the hallway. When we were having one of our 4 a.m. hallway conversations, we were talking about like what would happen if the cop like pulled us over.
It was like, what are you? Are you drunk, sir?
It was
No,
like,
sir.
No, sir.
We would just have to tell you about this. We were laughing about this Saw bit, and then we
You
tell
ever
him.
see Saw? And then he's in the Saw trap himself.
Yeah, and then he keeps trying to add to the bit, but he's not good at it.
He's not good at it at all.
And he keeps like radioing to his partner, being like, "Hey, do you think this is funny?" And, like, because he doesn't think it's funny, and he has to ask somebody else.
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, "Yeah, that's pretty funny, sir." He's like, "If this guy doesn't laugh at this, you're all going to jail."
That's
Sorry.
it. Yeah, you're done. You're done, your rings, kid. You're going to jail for a long time.
And then that was also when we decided where it was like, imagine if heaven had like criteria to get you into heaven, and it was like you
Oh, yeah,
die
yeah.
and you get up to fucking St. Peter or whatever the fuck his name is, and he's like, all right, you have to guess your one bit that lets you into heaven.
Yeah.
Like out of all your bits you've ever completed.
Well, do group bits count on that, or does it have to be individual?
The answer was bit. So it could be, who knows? The individual can be counted. It was group or individual. It was just all bits you've ever been a part of.
Okay.
And it was like, if St. Peter's like, you have, of all the bits you've ever done, what's the one that gets you into heaven? And we were like, the Saw
the Saw
bit.
bit. It's gotta be the Saw bit. Either that or the Spike TV Man Awards.
I was gonna say, was that the first time we had like hung out?
That was one of the first times we all like.
we were
really
like
hung
hanging out about in the fire pit, and we
Yeah.
were just laughing about this forever.
For the next 7 minutes of the podcast, we should do our 2024 bit year in review.
Bit year in review.
What were our best bits as a collective whole, and as a squadratic collective whole? What were the best bits of 2024? Number one's got to be the Saw
Emmeline.
bit. Emmeline? You think Emmeline's
Was Saw
number
bit
one?
this year?
Saw bit was this year, dude.
Fuck,
I was living here.
Fuck.
It was in like winter of this year though. It had to be like February. I had like just moved in. It
Okay.
had to be like February or
Saw
March.
bit, Emmeline.
Emmeline's got to be up there.
Emmeline, we still quote.
We still do Emmeline. all the time.
Alan.
yeah, Alan. Yeah, Alan's got to be up there. Alan's really good. This kitchen is so good for yelling.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one. Or that's 4. I'm trying to think what else. I'm sure we've had others.
I guess also Mr. Wake, but I feel like we don't quote that one. all the
I feel
time.
like all the Alan stuff could be
all
under
the
one
Alan is
umbrella.
under the Alan umbrella.
Yeah. That's got to be So then 4. This kitchen is so good for yelling. There's also just all the. I mean, even like
We-
this kitchen is all good for yelling. It's just like all the crazy shit we said in the kitchen, just
Oh
yelling.
yeah.
Just.
But also, there's so many bits that like I remember being fucking hilarious, but I can't remember what we were doing. Like the one where I was dying on the couch. I can't remember what the fuck we were talking about.
I really don't remember what we were talking about. It sucks. It sucks when you just can't. It's so infuriating when you can't remember something that was so goddamn funny in the moment, and you just can't.
And like, but like, I remember I thought it was hilarious, but like, I think if we
Oh my
thought about
God.
it now, it wasn't that funny.
Yeah, was bananas this year?
Was it?
Or no, that was your Secret Santa gift, right?
Oh yeah, that was
Okay,
Secret
never
Santa
mind,
for
yeah.
last year. The
That-
bananas.
that wasn't this year.
great time.
Bananas was so good.
The fucking 40 pounds of bananas. I don't know if I talked about that on the podcast, but so
So why don't you tell our lovely audience what
What-
the bananas bit was?
one of our friends, Justin, randomly, he is an agent of chaos. Randomly showed up to our friend Eamon's house, just unprompted,
As he usually shows up.
with 30 pounds of bananas, and then just was like put them on the counter, and Eamon was like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "Yeah, anyway, these are for you." And he's like, "You can't just leave these here. You're taking these home with you." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Hey, where's your bathroom?" And then left. And left him with the 30 pounds of bananas. So that year, like months separated, we do our Secret Santa, and I got Justin for our Secret Santa, and I'm like, well, I know what I got to do. So I got a fucking Home Depot box, and I went to the local grocery store and bought 40 pounds of bananas. And also I got him a poster, and I put it at the bottom, so we had to go all the way through them.
You gotta put the pictures up for the audience to see
Yeah,
of the
all right.
bananas. When we talk about this.
And it was just this box that I wrapped, and then I have a video of it that I had Eamon record, which was just him opening this up and ripping it open, and him looking in, and just like the light leaving his eyes, and him laughing hysterically at it as I got like, because I was like, well, I gotta one up him, so I gotta go 10 pounds over. So I bought a fucking 40 pounds of bananas. That thing weighed 40 pounds.
That's 40 pounds.
That I had to he then had to schlub to his car, and fucking it was like the greatest moment. Everyone was fucking hysterical about it. And I don't think I'll ever do anything funnier than that.
Oh, so goddamn funny.
That or the funniest thing I ever did this year, which was when we were driving to that concert, the Laura Melody concert.
Oh my god, that's up there too. With the what was it? I gotta fucking man. 2024 was a good year for bits.
Great year for bits.
I also have the fucking list. Hold on, let me pull the list up.
Oh god, the
I got
out
the
of
list.
context quotes.
I got the out of context quote. Well, I mean, because I also write the bits down
Oh yeah.
that we. So this is Mike, Anthony, and Kieran out of context quotes. Well,
Oh,
we
God.
obviously have Emmeline. We have My Dreams,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
under the Allen thing, and then we have Jason from Heavy Hearing. Oh, it was inward snoring. It was
Yeah,
inward snoring is what it was. It was. Just for like 20 minutes.
Emily, he doesn't breathe out.
Emily, how can he breathe in if he doesn't breathe out? Oh my god. There was up.
Yeah.
You forgot the word for words. Are you insane? When you forgot how to say the word words. My left hand is the redheaded stepchild of my body. Oh, that's all I got so far, but I'm sure there's gonna be so many more. Oh my god.
Well, with that,
Yeah.
thank you all for listening to this week's episode of the Vaguely Anime Podcast.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I think you have 4 weeks to watch Jujutsu Kaisen season 2.
I was like, damn, I missed 2 more seasons. Fuck.
Season 2. Or however many away we are from 0 or 5. But I think it's 4. We will see you guys next week for whatever it is we talk about. Anthony will be there. All right. Bye.
All right, see it.